This is a new business week, and this is Business Incorporated coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago. On the program today, Nigeria's June inflation slows to 16.1% from 16.25%. Mazda Motor Corporation recalls 19,000 cars in South Africa due to airbag safety concerns. Plus, Egyptian businesses struggle as costs soar after hike in fuel and electricity prices. Well, let's get started now. We'll begin with Nigeria's headline inflation for June 2017, which declined again for the fifth consecutive month to 16.1% in June from 16.25% in May. And data from the Statistics Office shows the food index rose to 19.91% year-on-year in June from 19.27% in May, showing continued pressure in food prices. This was driven by notable increases in bread and cereal, meat, fish, potatoes, yam, and other tubers. Core sub-index declined to 12.5% in June from 13% in May, representing the 8th straight month of decline in the index since November 2016. And to the markets now, and here in Africa, the markets in Nigeria and South Africa were in the red at intraday. The numbers there showing Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index declining 0.62% as at midday. The market in South Africa, that's the JSE Index, was down 0.07%. Egypt was trading up 1.01%, and Kenya closed up 0.09% on Friday. And in the Middle East, the Dubai Stock Index rose above technical resistance at intraday. The Dubai Index gained 0.82% in modest trading volume, eclipsing its April peak of 3,573 points. The next strong resistance is at 3,737.9 points, the January and February peaks. Islamic Arab Insurance climbed 3.8% in unusually heavy trade. It was the market's most active stock, and 3 of the 10 most active stocks were insurers. Damac Properties, which has been surging in the past week, climbed a further 3%. Saudi Arabia's index slipped 0.49%, however, as Bank Saudi Fransi, which had added 1.4% on Sunday, tumbled 3.7% as it went ex-dividend. In Abu Dhabi, the index was up 1.14%, while Qatar also went up 0.99%. And European bourses edged higher in early trade as investors reacted to robust economic growth data in China and monitored the second round of formal Brexit talks in Brussels. For details, let's bring in my colleague in Frankfurt, Daniel Koob. Hello, Daniel. Good afternoon. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice to see you again, Shimi.
Right, now the second round of the Brexit talks are on the way. Give us the latest. What's on tap for discussion this time?
Yeah, let me give you some details of those divorce talks to continue right now in Brussels. And actually, it's going to be a very interesting day because for the first time, they're really going to talk about money, how much Britain will have to pay to leave the European Union, because remember at the beginning Britain always said, I mean, we don't have to pay anything, and then there have been the speculations always that they would have to pay between 60 and 100 billion euros. Britain always said that they think that this amount is way too high, so it will be very interesting if we're going to get some actual numbers already today. What we are hearing, and that's what the European Union is making very clear, that those money talks have to finish basically until they will continue talks, for example, how trade is going to be in the future between the European Union and the United Kingdom. Another topic will be, and that's what's mostly watched actually by citizens, is basically the rights of those people living right now who come from abroad, from other countries in the European Union. There are about 3 million EU citizens right now living in the United Kingdom, whereas about 1.2 UK citizens are living on the EU mainland. So this will be watched very closely here also in Frankfurt.
We will also watch closely from here, and I must say money talk is always very important in any deal anyway. Well, Daniel, let's look at the economic numbers coming out of China today. Mostly news regarding steel production is not making the EU and of course the US happy. What are the issues?
Well, I can tell you that investors here at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and I guess and also some of the other stock exchanges here around Europe, were actually surprised about the numbers that were provided today by China. Another 6.9 growth of the economy in China. And of course, there's always this question when China comes out with this new fresh data, basically, how much you can trust those information. Because just to give you an example, here in Germany, when a quarter usually finishes, Germany needs up to usually 4 to 6 weeks to provide, the growth of the economy. China has been very fast. They came out with those numbers just 2 weeks after the quarter finished. So there's always this question, how you can, trust these numbers actually. When you look at the numbers, the growth is mostly created actually with the export. Just in June, the export was up with more than 11% compared to last year. And the topic that mostly European companies will be watching very closely is the steel production. You just mentioned it. The steel production has been again up in April with 72.8 million tons. This is again this big surplus production of steel that has been criticized for a long time by the European Union and also by the United States. Many companies here in the EU say that basically China is producing steel for dumping prices, and that's what's giving companies here in the EU quite a headache, I can tell you. China has been saying in the past that they will be working on this surplus reduction. They already closed more than 600 of those steel facilities.